For sequence a sub n, the sum of the first n terms is s sub n. When we have log base 2 of 3s sub n plus 1 equals n, the rule for the nth term is a sub n equals a times r to the power of n minus 1. So basically we have to find the value of a plus r. We have to find our a, our first term, and our common difference and add them up, the sum of those two. So basically let's look and see what we have and unpack this a little bit. So if we have log base 2 of 3 times our sum of n plus 1 equals n, I'm going to write this as in exponential form. So this would be 3 times s sub n plus 1 equals 2 to the power of n. All right, let's solve for s sub n. So subtract 1, you get 3s sub n equals 2 to the power of n minus 1. And then divide both sides by 3, you get s sub n equals 2 to the power of n minus 1. Divide it by 3. All right. Now, what we need to find is a sub n. All right. So we can find the first term and the last term. So basically, to do that, and we have this sum, we can take s sub n minus s sub n minus 1. And what I mean by that is if you have a sub 1 plus a sub 2 plus dot 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 plus a sub n minus 1 plus a sub n. So basically, if I take the sum of this whole thing, that would be the green one, and subtract this sum, that would be the yellow, I'll be left with this singular term. So basically, a sub n equals s sub n minus s sub n minus 1. So it's the sum of the whole sequence minus the sum of all the sequence except the last term. Now, so let's use substitution here. We already have s sub n. That's 2 to the power of n minus a big 1 divided by 3 minus, now for this one, you're just going to substitute this n minus 1 for that n. So that's going to give you minus 2 to the power of n minus 1 minus a big 1 divided by 3. All right. Now, I'm going to factor out, let's factor out 2 to the power of n minus 1 divided by 3. If I do that, I'm going to get 2 minus 1. All right, so that's going to give me 2 to the power of n minus 1 divided by 3. All right. Now that we have that, let's look at, and this is when we have more than one term. So let's write this as our terms have to be 2 or more to do this. But our first term, what would our first term be? Because we have to find that. Our first term would be s sub 1, which would be 2 to the power of 1 minus 1 divided by 3, which equals 1/3. So your first term is 1/3. All right. So by 1 and 2, our a sub n is going to equal 2 to the power of n minus 1 divided by 3. Now, let's go ahead and add these up. Our common ratio is 2 because they're, let's see. Let's write this out here. So our a equals 1/3 and our r equals 2. Because this is basically 1/3 times 2 to the power of n minus 1. Because this is your first term. All right. And I'm looking at the formula here. All right, so that's your first term. Your common ratio is 2. So now we can do add these up. You get a plus r equals 1/3 plus 2. And this is going to be 1/3 plus 6/3, which equals 7/3. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.